Munich, it rains all the time. Whoa! Sun and blue sky and a helmet, glasses and a bicycle. Yeah! Absolutely brutal. It's around noon, maybe about 65k. Yes! Into the top. Look at the place. Rained all weekend in Munich, so I took the first flight I could find to a sunny place, and Southern France should be a guarantee for that. I arrived at the airport, my flip-flops got broken, so I'm walking with these very comfortable bicycle shoes. The flight is also delayed half an hour. The main hope that I have is that the bicycle comes in one piece, because the last flight got broken quite a few times, and also that I can check in the hotel, because I tried to call but nobody answered. And let's go to the boarding now. Flight was already late, it was delayed and then delayed once again. Now I don't know if you can read, it's scheduled for 22:45, and we get there way past midnight. Exactly half past midnight, and we landed at the airport of Nice. I hope and the bicycle comes in one piece over here. Now heading to the hotel, finally! Almost 1 in the night. Only the best for these 5 hours of sleep that await me. Hallelujah. We are ready to go. 8 o'clock. I wanted to be a bit earlier, but it's all okay. In my hotel they did not have a deposit for luggage, incredibly, so I found something at the hotel nearby, Campanile, and we are really ready to go. Goal for the weekend is clearly the mountains, but as I was here I could not at least have a look at the sea. It's just half an hour since I left the airport of Nice, and I'm already in the middle of nature. And this behind me is the village of Crans-Montret. Look. Come on, look at the place. Look at this. Look at the road. I think this is pretty much as good as cycling gets. I'm not sure how much better you can enjoy the day on two wheels. And now there is about a 50k descent to the Gorge de Verdon. Should be pretty fast. There is headwind. Oh, a group of cyclists. Hi, hello, hello. It's around noon and I did about 65k, and I'm on the way from Nice to the Gorge de Verdon. Took a small break here in this shop with the sandwiches, something to drink. The day is absolutely perfect. I'm so happy I came instead of staying in the rainy south of Germany. On the way to the Gorge de Verdon, I'm on this road since probably 15 kilometers now, 20, without a single car, bicycle, motorbike. about 1 p.m. and I started this morning at 8 o'clock in Nice, in the middle of the busy Côte d'Azur. And now I feel that I'm lost in the middle of nowhere, because there is not a car or a cyclist or a village since about 10 kilometers. A fellow cyclist, I had lunch at kilometer 65 of my ride, now it is 87. And this is the first person I crossed since lunch, and also no network for the phone, so let's pray God that nothing breaks down. And now we are at the Gorge du Verdon, and I think there are some pretty steep climbs. I can't remember, it was a long time since I came. Here is the start of the Gorge du Verdon. I think when I came here, I did the other side of the road. There is one road that is on the left side and one on the right side of the river. So the road is gonna, in that direction there, I think it's gonna go up the mountain and then all along the edge of the cliffs. So this was behind me is the famous Le Point Sublime, famous viewing point of the Gorge du Verdon. Yes, this is the route of the Crête, and it's really, really magnificent. I start feeling the legs. I was not so used to do long rides with lots of climbs. I've done already 3,300 meters of elevation gain in about 120 kilometers, so not that much actually, over the heat. But I think I recover as soon as I have something to eat. So this is the Route de Crête, which is the road that goes on the ridge of the Verdon Canyon. It's really steep, it's over 10%. The descent is way more exposed, so look at this. Touch it here. I arrived in this village which is called La Palude sur Verdon, and I ran completely out of sugar. It didn't happen since a long time that I was completely out of energy. Also because of the spiritual stuff, and there was absolutely nothing to eat or drink along the way, and I didn't take anything with me. And now it's almost 6 o'clock. To be seen what we do. So I don't know, maybe I can do still 40-50k, and then I need to find somewhere to sleep. It's Sunday, it's Saturday evening, August. Let's see if I can find something. I spent the night in Castellana. I want to do a bit more because it's going to be about 160k for the day. I want to do around 200. Maybe I would not have made it anyway, but there was also no hotel in the direction that I want to take. Few more kilometers to Castellana, but you have to see this. Made it to Castellana. This is the hotel for tonight. Beautiful small village also here. Very busy. I think I was lucky to find a room here. And this is the very pretty center of Castellana. I had dinner here, now dessert, and good night, and see you tomorrow. Day 2, 7 in the morning. I wanted to leave a little bit earlier, but there was nowhere else to do breakfast, and it opens at 7. So this is the hotel where I stayed the night. So I'm gonna do a small tour here in Castellana before the breakfast opens at 7. The day started, sunshine. Castellan is about behind us. So I plan to do about 180k today with maybe a bit less than 4,000 meters elevation gain. But I can, depending on how quickly I move, I may shorten it because I have a plane to take at 9:30 in the evening. First climb and call of the day, called the Touteret, 1,124 meters, easy one. Now it goes down, then there is a kind of a gorge with a canyon, and then it goes up again to the highest call of the whole tour. It should be about 1,600 meters. Coming down from this col that I showed before, and the view is absolutely incredible. We just passed a small village called Rouen. Another absolutely amazing road coming down from there. After this, for me, legendary descent down to about 500 meters above sea level, I'm gonna turn left to on this valley to Guillaume, and then up to Valberg, which I think is about 1,600 or 700 meters. So yeah, there is a bit more than 1,000 meter climb now. And on the Pont de la Marie, the Bridge of Mary, on this incredible Gorge de Dalhuy. I did not even imagine that in Europe there are places like this. They seem to me like these US national parks, Utah, Nevada and so on. Made it to Guillaume, about 65k for the day and 750 meters I think of altitude where we are. And now we start the climb up to Valberg, which is I think a proper climb up to 1,700 meters. Short break here at the boulangerie of the village. (1,200 meters of altitude, so somewhere around the halfway mark of the climb. And luckily, before coming up, I asked to a cyclist which one of the two way that from Guillaume go up to Valberg should I take, and they recommended this one, which is an absolutely perfect road that yeah, was not a car until now. So I just passed this village, which is Péon, and yeah, maybe a recommendation, not necessarily on the 3rd of August at noon doing this climb. Today it's about 35 degrees. I don't mind the temperature, but maybe it's not for everybody. Got to Valberg, which is a bit of a cultural shock, because I think everybody else came from the other road, full with people. 1,684 meters of height. This is the highest point of the weekend. Now it goes down to Béhuil. Climbing up the third col of the day. It's not too long, I think it's 400-500 meter altitude gain. The landscape changed again completely. I feel that every valley has its own microclimate. Col d'Arcueil, third pass of the day, 1,677 meters. The two there took over very easily on the way up, but they take a break. Maybe they cannot catch me on the way down. Now I'm on this very long descent. I think it's like 30-40 kilometers just down here all the way to Nice, and this is Roubillon, another magnificent village perched there on the hill. This is Roubillon on the way down to Nice. Moment of choice. It's 4 p.m. The flight is at 9:30. I can roll down this road all the way to Nice in 34 kilometers, or I can go up that road there, this one here, and it's gonna be 62 kilometers with about 1,000 meters of climb. I already done 125 kilometers and 3,000 meters of altitude gain. I think I'm gonna regret the choice that I just made. Brilliant choice. I decided to do the long climb. It's gonna be tight with the flight. Yes, otherwise I would have done that road. It looks nice actually. But otherwise I would have got to the airport around maybe 6 or 5:30. And that what do I do for the remaining 2 hours to the flight. Let's see, I can already see that my legs will stop turning. I will have full crisis, and then we'll see if and how we make it to the airport. The road down there, maybe you see with the cars, is the one where I made the choice to come up. And so far it's the right choice because pretty amazing also this road. This village is called La Tour and it is about halfway up the climb. So from the main road, which was about at 200 meters of altitude, the road went up to La Tour to 650 meters, then down very steep to 370 meters, and now going up to Auteuil, which is at about 900, 850. And then that's it, I think it's the last climb, 5th climb of the day. I feel it's pretty crazy. In 4.5 hours, I have less than that. I have a flight taking off from Nice, and I got into this completely lost and isolated road that is going up and down much more than I expected. I'm really curious to see if I make it. Also because if anything breaks down, I'm lost because there is no signal, no cars, nobody. Let's hope. Absolutely brutal. So it was way more up and down than Google Maps was showing, and now I think it's the last, I hope, climb, and it's 300 meters of altitude gain within less than 3 kilometers, so more than 10% slope, and then it should be all downhill. No idea where this road ends. I feel so lost in the middle of France. Seems crazy to think that I have a flight in a few hours, and in 12 hours I'll be working in the office. Yes! Made it to the top. Whoa, that was tough. And now it is about 5:50. Flight at 9:30. I'm not sure how far it is from here. And this is Uthei. Brief stop there, and then all the way down. So 6 p.m. nothing open in Uthei, so my good bar that I had with me. Google gives me 47 kilometers to the airport, and it's 6 o'clock. The flight is 9:30, but I need to pick up the bag, so I have to be there about 8. That should be doable if there is no issue of sort. $7.45 and 2K from the airport, so easy peasy. I even got a message that my flight is again delayed about 1 hour, but the same message also written that check-in time and drop-off time is that didn't change. We made it. 8:00 and I recovered the bag, and now the airport, which is on the other side. Half an hour to check in the bicycle. 8 and 10 minutes. Bicycle dismantling. 8:20, bicycle packed.
No picture.
And check-in completed at 8:26, exactly 4 minutes before it closed. Here I am at the boarding gate, waiting for my flight, which is delayed 1 hour. Summer of the weekend, it was absolutely extraordinary. I came several times to South of France, but these canyons and these landscapes, I did not imagine that there was something like this, neither in France nor Europe, honestly. The second day is finished with 196k, I think, and 4,500 meters of altitude gain. If you want to see the route, you can look in the description, there are the GPX links, and I can recommend it 100%. It's not an easy ride, there is a lot of climbing, so it's maybe not ideal for families, but if you're alone with a road bike, I think it's one of the most extraordinary rides that I've done. So I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.